Hey there, Chad here. Thanks for joining me. This is Rising Star 2 with my band, Everyone But Andy, and we're having a good time here with the game as we've kind of turned that corner that we talked about so many times in the past of having some songs that actually have some audience impact. I finally feel like I'm there, and I got so excited about it, I entirely forgot a thing I was going to do, and that was I wanted to book a mini tour with my manager, maybe 2 weeks. I think we're going to aim for maybe like the end of February. That looks like that should work. The 16th. Yeah, that should work. I maybe was thinking maybe more like maybe the 14th though, and then just running to the end of the month, doing everything we can. So the 14th. Oh, it has to be at least 7 days from today. Okay, so we'll stick with what it's suggesting. As you know, our RNG has been really rough for the flip of the month, but I think I'm going to risk it. Maybe we're going to go ahead and add an extra. Do we want to add a full week? I don't know if I want to add a full week. That could be a little too, well, 3 weeks. Yeah, we'll be okay. 6 gigs, that'll be 18 gigs, 6 a week. And we are going to start in Los Angeles. How's that sound? We're going to call this we talked about either West Coast or East Coast. Actually, maybe before I do that, I should look at the map one more time and be sure I remember coming of age is big in California right now. We don't have any nature to worry about. Or I'm sorry, well, nature isn't what we want to worry about. It's the opposite of it, which is technology. We do have technology songs, so maybe not the best place for us. Urgency, and I think we've got a couple of those. Patience would be its alternative. Tradition versus, I don't remember what its opposite is right this second, but I would say that we are more on the opposite of this one than tradition. And then we have spontaneity. We're good there. So we could do Arizona. Hometown pride. We're pretty good with that. We could even make it Texas, not great. We have a lot of climate change songs. So that would be the West Coast tour. If we chose to do that, we could actually go up here into Canada too. Carefree. We do have a few of those, and that would be okay. Hometown pride. This works. Climate change, though, those do work. Urgency, climate change. Yeah, so maybe the Northwest is a better place for us to go. Urgency. Okay, I do need to check. What's the opposite of urgency? Urgency's opposite is going to be patience. The other one was progress and tradition. That's it. Progress and tradition is the other one. And we're probably more on the progress side of that one. So we'll back off here. Do we have anybody who's on the negative side of some of these? We don't. We have spontaneity. We have 3 people with spontaneity, though. 4 with spontaneity. We're changing that up. I think we change up spontaneity. Let's go with, well, maybe we go with urgency or life. Let's do life. Go back to having life again. Oh, that was a bad move. Don't want to do life. That's because we have them with loss. So we're going to have to change these too. I messed that up badly. We'll go with urgency here. And then yeah, that could have been disastrous. I just wrecked my band for the rest of the game. So then loss here, we're going to want to change to oof. Not sure. What do we want to go with? Maybe we go back to hometown pride, at least for a while. That feels like a safe alternative. I need to write these out and make sure I have a nice chart of them so I don't forget where I'm sitting with these. That was a dangerous mistake there. I was thinking life and death, not life and loss. So that's why it didn't really register in my little brain. So, okay, we'll go with that for now. Nonetheless, Pacific Northwest wouldn't be bad. Let's look over here on the East Coast. What would we have if we tried to do some stuff over here? Deliberation as opposed to spontaneity. Well, that's not good for us. Technology is good. Rhode Island. Life. We talked about that. Depression. Vitality. Tradition. Travel. Vitality. Is that what that was? Yep. Coming of age. Serious. Tradition. So tradition being dominant down here is not great for us, nor deliberation. I think the Pacific Northwest is where we're heading, actually. I think we're going to tour up here. These all look pretty safe for us. Hometown Pride, Carefree, which is deliberation, is the opposite of that one. Urgency with patience. We don't have any patience that I know of. Technology, climate change, coming of age. Heck, we could just do a Canadian tour too, for that matter. What do you have here in Alaska? Wisdom. Wisdom and coming of age. Those are the opposites. Okay, I think we're going to go to the Pacific Northwest. Let's start in Seattle. Why not? That's a good place to start, right? If we wanted to do efficiency from that standpoint, let's take one more quick look here. So spontaneity. I just want to, they're sorted by attitude at this point, right? Yeah. So spontaneity, instrumental, spontaneity. Okay, it looks like spontaneity versus deliberation is a really important one for us right now, because like everything we have is spontaneity. That's not a good sign. We don't like that. Just takes one bad roll of the dice and suddenly we don't have any songs we really are comfortable playing. Coming of age, climate change, coming of age, climate change, hometown pride, climate change, hometown pride. Yeah, we need to diversify our lyrics just a little bit. And then spontaneity is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of our songs. That's a lot. That's a lot. Of our 24 songs, 7 of them, it leaves us, 17 that aren't spontaneity. I know that's enough, but that could be rough. So just need to pay attention to that. But we're going to go to the the Northwest. That's where we're going to start our tour. We want to go to the manager. Sorry about that. And then we're going to book a tour. We are going to extend it an extra week. Yeah, that was the right one. I don't know. It felt wrong there for a second. Maybe we don't do a full. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do the full. And then starting city. Let's start in Eugene, Oregon. And then areas to limit the tour. Well, Alaska. I think Alberta's up that way. Did I want to do California? We should. Okay, I am going to double check that one more time. My apologies, folks. California was coming of age. We're okay in California. So technically we could start in Los Angeles and work up the coast. We just are going to avoid these other states here like Nevada. Well, we're going to avoid Nevada. Let's start in San Diego and work our way up, hopefully. We'll do the West Coast tour. That's what it'll be called. And then this is British Columbia, and this is Alberta. We're good there. We're good in Saskatchewan and Alaska. Okay. What we really need to avoid is the opposite of spontaneity, which is deliberation. Deliberation is what would kill us. So we want to stay out of, for instance, Kentucky. And that's fine. No, we're not driving there. Okay, so now we know. Do nothing. Nope, we're going to book a tour. Last try, we're going to call this the West Coast Tour. All new venues to us. In fact, what we might want to do is be the second band, not headline. Something to consider. I don't know. We'll see what that looks like. We're going to pick San Diego as the start. Areas. So we did say Alberta. We did say British Columbia. We did say Alaska. We've got Oregon and California and Washington State. We all know those are safe. We know all of those are safe. That's what I meant to say. Those are all good. That's 6. There's lots of cities there. We could probably cut it off there. Idaho wasn't deliberation, so we could do that if in a pinch. And I think Manitoba was good. And then I think Montana would be okay. All right. give it some options to choose from, but we have to pick the tour band. This is where it gets weird. They would be the headliner. We would be, we would be the follow on, and we save a little money if we do that, which is something to consider. We won't be paying for the premier guys for the when you're the headliner. You don't have to pay certain staff when you're the headliner that you don't have to pay if you're not the headliner. That's what I'm trying to say. We could go with a group that we're familiar with. We actually don't have any reputation with any of these guys though, do we? That's too bad. So we could go as the opener and bring a relatively weak band with us. We could go with like the Gigantic Copy out of Chicago. They're bigger. You know, the idea is we want to have packed houses and things like that. So I don't know. I feel like it's a push. Let's be the opener this time around. Also, don't have to play as many songs, so that's not the worst thing either. And picking a band, I mean, if we don't have reputation with any of them, it is literally a pick 'em. Let's go with somebody who's kind of popular. How's that? That doesn't leave a whole lot. The Rich Knights, the Ignorant Springs, Cake Beside Force, the Gigantic Copy. I'm thinking one of those. Pearl Bucket. They're out of Carbondale. I mean, we would think we'd have a relationship with them. Let's go with them. That sounds fun. We will be the opener. They're going to be touring because of their coming CD. So that makes sense. Okay. We are opening. That's where it says it. I knew it said it somewhere. There it is. We're going to assign that task. Hopefully tomorrow he has some news for us. That took way longer than it should have. I apologize for that, but I wanted to get it right. Okay, let's merge some parts here. Here we go. Got it started, but we need to continue that trend. There we go. Those are the same. Topher's starting to get some pieces built up. That's good. We want that. We want him to have 25s and above so that he can start to write really, really strong songs. We're going to have to work on lyrics for everybody except for Angel. She's our lyricist. She's got great lyrics. I think that's it for red. Good. Let's go to rhythm. Nice. Also nice. Down to 10, so we can do 3s. Here's a pair of 3s for Kiwi. And now we can only do 1s. There's a 1. And there's a 1. That feels like Mario. Serious. Progress. Let's do some progress. Versus tradition. Okay, well, we know where we stand there. Do we have to practice? I think we're practiced up. No, we do have 1. We have nothing scheduled, so this is not the worst thing. We could write one more song. Yep, let's write another song, and let's try to make it not spontaneity, since that is 90% of what we know. It's not 90. It is a percentage of what we have, though, and that's a little concerning. It's more than a quarter of our songs. All right, so we're going to go write a song. We'll construct that song. We'll make that song about. What can we do? What can we do? Climate change, coming of age. Coming of age. Anybody else? Spontaneity. Yeah, that's where we start to run into some problems. All those spontaneity points. All right, well, let's write the rest of it first. I want to hold on to that for Topher if we can. Let's go with Kiwi. Let's go with the 28, and then we'll go to rhythm, see what we can get out of there. We go with Chad on rhythm. Maybe this 25 or a 20. Be 55. That's looking pretty good. That's kind of an easy one to use. And we only need a 20 for lyrics now. Well, let's go with, it's popular in Missouri. Oh, but it's not on the red list anymore. It's no longer red listed. That's good. So we'll go with technology. We're going to write another technology song. It has been a while. And then let's see if we can swap out any of these for something a little less in points. There's a 20. There's a 20 for Topher here. That could work. Chad has a 20. That one bumps things up significantly. Topher's does not. We're going to go with that one. And that puts us right at 100. So, okay. I'm pleased with that. I think red makes sense for this. And let's see, we're looking at a technology song. What do we want to call this one? How about Connected? Plays on 2 levels, right? Okay, here we go. There it is written. And our manager did schedule that. Sorry, I drifted away there for a second. The manager did schedule that. You can see the dates jumped up here on the calendar, but he hasn't called us to tell us yet. So usually we'll wait a day and see what he wants to call and tell us, but we now know what we're looking at. And this is good. So we have 2 songs to practice. I think maybe we go ahead and do that. We could try to see a show tonight. Why not? Let's go to the Humble Head. We'll do that. So we'll exit out of here. Yes, we'll take the chauffeur. Things are looking pretty decent for the band lately.
Good to see you.
We could book something in the next week.
Talk to that.
Next Friday, just a quick opener. We could try out a couple of songs. That wouldn't be the worst thing. Yeah, let's do it. I think that feels right. Okay. Patience is coming along. Murder for Coat. And they're about to rock it. There it goes. Viking Helmet. All right. New song ideas, a couple of them anyway. All right. One thing I did want to look at before I forget is this. So we are still looking good here. I think there's a couple of yellow lines there on top of the green lines as well. And so that means we're not gaining or losing is what that kind of says. If we look at happiness, nobody should be tanking, and that's all good. So let's go home. Let's practice. And there it is. Practice all below max skill, which is only 2 of them. We fell 30 positions, 1,600 units sold. That's okay. That's okay. It's money. Not a ton of money, but it is money. And there's the manager calling to tell us what he did. I have completed booking the West Coast tour. All right. It starts on February 20 in Eugene, Oregon, and ends on March 9th in Vancouver. 13 gigs. All right. That's good. Let me know what to work on next. I think we're going to have him work on endorsements again. Because why not? We're not ready for contract yet. And then let's look at it. Let's see what we're doing. So we'll be doing 6 songs. That's the one we scheduled. We'll be doing 9 songs as an opener. That is fantastic. I wonder what kind of size venues we're talking. 3,000. Okay, so we're not hitting the stadiums yet, but that's all right. What about next month? Some of the same. It's okay. That is okay. We're going to be okay with that. I was kind of hoping maybe if we'd picked one of the 25 bands, the bands with the top popularity, we would have ended up playing in some of those venues, but I feel like this is probably a good step for us. So let's go ahead and practice. We'll go ahead and we'll fire through this week pretty quickly, I think. I do want to write one more song though. Trying to parse through what that needs to look like. Yeah, we'll come over here, write one more song, then do some practicing for our weekend gig. I think we're going to start here at the bottom this time. There's one. Nice. All the way to the 35. Can't beat that. Let's look at lyrics. We do need some lyrics. We know that. Hometown Pride is doing really well for us. And we could do some 10s. Do we have any 10s floating around here? What about Kiwi? 15, but not a 10. Chad, no 10s. Angel, any 10s? Yes, there's some 10s. Let's go that route. Okay, now time to construct. Okay, well, I think maybe it's time to have Chad use one of his 35s. Give Kiwi a break. He could also use a 20. That puts him at 55. He does not have nearly enough points to in a lyrics anywhere to make anything happen with that. As we can see, if we can, he's got a 15 and it's spontaneity. We'd probably want to avoid that. I don't think he has a 35 green. If he did, it would be worth maybe giving it a shot, but he doesn't. So we need 45 more points. We need a 20 and a 25 lyric wise, or a 10 and a 35, right? Yeah, that would work. Coming of age, well, we know those are doing okay right now. We could do that. Or climate change. We'll go with climate change. And now we only need a 10 melody. Can we find a 10 melody? Kiwi has one sitting out there. What about Topher? Nope. There it is. Okay, we're going to go that route. And we're talking climate change. That's going to be... Did we do a song called Melting Point yet? I can't remember if I did. If we did, maybe we deleted it. We'll know in a second. Melting Point. And we're going to make it a high energy song. My thought on doing that is Melting Point, right? It's hot. Here we go. All right. Update to... Okay, there was a lot of language there. It goes away a little too fast. There was an update to endorsements, and we wrote a song, I think is basically what it was telling us. So now we're going to go practice. We got 3 songs to practice, and when we start seeing these points drop off, we'll practice everything. I don't want it to deteriorate too far. And there it is. So we'll do select all, do that one day, and then we'll just practice these guys again. That should put 2 of those over the top, and it did. And then the third one should go today, and we have a gig. So we'll get to try those out. And there it is. Yes. Humble head. Well, thank you very much. Don't mind if I do. Would you really say that? I don't think you would say that. All right. 1, 2, 3. Well, this could work out really well for us. And let's close it out with... I'm kind of thinking something that isn't top of the line for us, but close-ish. Let's do Jump First. We'll give those a shot. Any problems with those? I don't think so. Nope, we're in good shape. Letting it rip. Nothing. First song was 6. They didn't like it at all. Okay, well, we know. New song ideas. Melting Point, yeah, it did really, 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 really bad. Few points of reputation. We always liking that. Sold some shirts. Audience enjoyed this song. 7. They got 7 points on that. That's really not good. Moral Shift did not do much better. 8 points. Concrete Jungle got 9. Oof. This was a tough crowd. I have been curious. I don't really have a way to do it. I guess you could save the game, or you could do it early in the week. You do it like on a Monday before the auto save, and then you could just exit out. I've wondered if you put like a hot in front of this set, how much would it have changed if we had put Melissa up front, one that's going to drive them crazy and they're going to go wild? How much does it impact these other ones? That might be something to look at sometime. Anyway, they loved 3. So Connected was loved. I mean, that's good. That's 15 points. That's what we're kind of looking for. That was 49, 50. That was only 13 points for Spur of the Moment. Yeah. Jump First was only 14. So Connected is gonna make it. Connected looks like it'll be a song we keep. Moral Shift, maybe not. Have to look on that. And let's just get home. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking Melting Point. Might as well. I think we just go ahead and drop it. It did absolutely nothing. Decent venue. Yeah. No. Didn't hit. Didn't click. And it got 3. I mean, that we've kind of been using as our new litmus. Moral Shift really did the same. It got 3. I think we're going to drop it. So 2 less songs. Don't think we can make up for that in the meantime. And that's okay. We'll go ahead and do some practicing. Well, I think we'll write some songs today. That makes sense. We'll want to do some practicing here in a couple of days. I don't think we'll be able to write anything new between now and then, just because we just don't have the time. And we did see that Kiwi had these floating around. Let's get those made into something important. Technology in progress. Lots and lots of spontaneity and serious. I think we'll go that route though. Yeah, he's got a lot of 1s. Let's go ahead and just get those taken care of. Worry much less about what I'm merging at that level. Kind of focus on that more once we're moving up a little bit. Just trying to keep it balanced more than anything. Can do that. We know we have tons of spontaneity. That's why I'm kind of working my way around those right now. Okay, well, that's a 15. And then we'll come down here. And that is what it is. All right. From a writing perspective, we're going to go back to Kiwi with a 25. And let's hit up Chad with a 20. Go to the bottom. Topher, what can you pitch in? Nothing above a 10. Angel, not really anything worth talking about. Kiwi, here's a 40. That bumps us way up into technical. And we need a 35 lyric to keep that one going to 100. But we don't have to get to 100. We can get to 90. Okay. So we did just write oh, this is coming of age. I thought it said climate change. Yeah, that's on me. I was thinking it said climate change. And I'm like, well, we just deleted one of those. Let's just reuse the name. And maybe that's not the best idea either. I don't know. I've got to think about that for a second. But if we're going to go with coming of age, I think we want to go with, I don't know, transitions. That feels good. Medium tempo song. Yeah, that'll work. We need to practice everything because we have to get to Oregon. We will be able to fly tomorrow. So that is definitely a factor. Oh, and today's the birthday. So I think in the interest of the triple points, maybe we record something today, fly out tomorrow. Yeah, I think maybe that's what we do. we do have one song that did really well there, Connections. Let's go record it. I think that sounds like a plan. Go to our little map here and find the ones that are highlighted red. There it is, right there, Pinnell Studios. And there it is. We're going to go in and we are going to record this one. Yep, there it is. And we leveled up. I think we will be able to. We're just going to have, oh, I wonder if we needed to, I might have really dropped the ball there, folks. We probably should have flown out. Yeah, I think I'm seeing I messed up. Let's see let's see what we can do. So we'll go to the map. Earliest arrival is tomorrow. That'll work. We're fine. Why did it tell us that? That was weird. So I'm going to never mind that. If I really blow this, I might rewind and start this this week over, go back to the week. But I'm thinking what I wanted to do here was, first of all, hit a music store. We can just back up to one here. Want to repair stuff. We're going to repair everything. Then we're going to go home. We're going to look at our song list and see where everything stands. Everything is good. So is that extra day going to make a difference? Well, I don't want to be late for our gig. We're going to fly out there. We're going to do that right now. And we're just going to travel. And we're there. We're there a day early. So it kind of lied to us. It said we had to leave, and then it said you can't make it, and it is what it is. So, all right. Well, I would have liked to have practiced one more time. That's really my only beef is it would have been good to get another day of practice in, but instead what we will do is find a hotel, and we will call it a night and be ready to start our tour tomorrow morning. Those are houses, not hotels. Might be interesting to see what a house runs here. Yeah, let's take a quick peek. All right, 206,000. I think this is the one up from where we are currently. Not bad. In New York, that's probably 700,000. So that is how the economics work in the game, truly. So, all right, coming back around here, and we're just going to stop and stay at this motel. Unfortunately, we can't practice. That's the only downside there. But let's go ahead and save right here, and we will see you in the next episode. Thank you for your time this time, and until then, fair travels.